All right. So you were saying that the way that we were thinking that was like the most important way to tag issues, which is like by specific, was probably not the what people were telling you. It would be more page specific tagging.
Yeah. So Kevin's example of this was you go to a page and there's no tab index set and there's not proper use of H1s and H2s and paragraph text tags. So the screen reader is just like, I don't know, I'll start in the top left and like go from there. And that is a like really common issue. And so that was the first thing that I kind of noted was there's two types of issues that need to be logged. One is I described as a meta issue, where it's the entire page just has like problems with how it's been thought out. And then there is the specific issue, which is what you had initially kind of keyed in on, is
Okay.
wanting select a div specifically and say, this is the one that screwed up.
Yeah, got it. Cool. That makes sense.
And then the other important things like keyboard shortcuts, that was fine. Those work. I focused on getting all of the skeleton in place and was less concerned about like making sure there was a complete flow through one specific thing. But now it stands where the Chrome extension loads in the little menu bar, and you can click meta issue or specific issue, and those fire off to a dummy API. So the repo has two main components. It has the Chrome extension source and then a dummy API directory. And the dummy API directory, it just runs a Node Express server written in TypeScript that receives post requests to a stubbed out API endpoint. So it's like /API/meta or /API/issue/meta. And all of the types and routes and everything are shared between that dummy API and the Chrome extension. So there's like one single point of truth where these things are coming from. And again, rather than me worry about integrating with someone else's thing that's a moving target, it was like, I just want to make sure that I can send stuff and get stuff back.
Yeah.
And so that all works. You send the page URL, you send a screenshot. If you're selecting something, you send that selection. Getting the HTML for the div itself was non-trivial, non-obvious. Like I looked in the Chrome extension docs, and I think the best way to do that was going to be basically to find the selected text and like just search through the DOM for wherever that selected text appeared, but that's not right. Like,
Okay.
but
Do you,
there might be a different way, and I just didn't see it in the Chrome extension docs.
well, I mean, this is an example of like we can kind of be lean and cater the requirements a little bit, like, and not go into capturing an HTML snippet, just capturing the page, I think is a good MVP type of deal
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah,
So if that's where you're at, if like I because basically we just need a Chrome extension that people can install and then start feeding information to Equalify, and then we'll see. I think you did a perfect kind of early pass with Kevin, and quickly identified like, okay, I'm glad that you didn't have to spend a bunch of time, or hopefully you didn't have to spend a bunch of time figuring out new things that don't exist yet. But what it sounds like is a good like start to release with and see where it goes, basically.
yeah, yeah. And that was kind of my goal, was just um everything is like bootstrapped to a good place. The Chrome extension is well architected, and I hooked up provider contexts in React for authentication. And so that paradigm has been like implemented, and it stores the authentication in Chrome extension local storage. So once there is an API endpoint to auth to, that's ready to be baked in. So,
Great.
and if you just want to leave it anonymous for whatever first version, that's fine. Like it supports that right now. It's just anonymous mode.
Cool. Yeah, we are switching from Auth0 now to Cog, the AWS version of it. Cog whatever, Cognito, and it's not Cog, I think it's called, yeah, Cognito, but it's the
Yeah,
same stuff.
yeah.
Okay, and then so has do you know if Kevin or Raghavendra have had a chance to use it or test it yet, or have you looked at it on a screen reader yet? Okay,
No.
cool. Still needs still to do test and screen reader. Cool. On screen reader. And then you had a meeting with James that seemed, James was like, yeah, I kind of understand what's going on. How, like, as far as, well, the first question for you, because it's like, I kind of just assume that we just hand it off to James. But first question for you is like, how far do you want to take this beyond us just getting it to that MVP handoff state? Um, is it something that is like still in your world of interest and support, or are you into like the handoff kind of dealio that we talked about?
Yeah, and I told James like I'm here for the handoff. I am starting my full-time job next week, so like I am ready, to support and like not just gonna not be there at all. But
Yeah,
I tried to do this with like as little opinionated building as possible and follow good React like design patterns,
great,
and then like really just lay out a skeleton so that someone like James can jump in and do, you know, the actual like junior developer work of building it out based on usability requirements and kind of the feedback from the initial version. I think the only thing left to really do from like an MVP standpoint is run a production and, get it distributed and packaged in some way. And I wanted to wait for you to be available to talk about like how does Equalify want to put this into the Chrome store, because like I don't want to put my email in and just
yeah,
have
yeah,
it be
yeah.
stuck. So I think that's
Uh,
kind of it.
cool. I wonder if we still have um a Chrome. We had a user, but I don't we didn't end up using it because we never built the thing. Um, but I can give you the credentials to our Chrome store user.
Cool.
Uh, and like our name of the game is just ship stuff out there. So it's not like we're not precious about like when or where or how it's going to be done. And even if it's like, you know, it's important that we test it on a screen reader. I think that's like the only thing that I would say might be a blocker from what you're telling me.
Okay.
Uh, and Kevin can do that really well for you if you want him to. You might have to like walk him through getting it installed before it's shipped, but um, or I would even say put it on the Chrome store, uh, and then watch Kevin go through the process and and then do quickly, launch a new version that would be that'd be have some slight fixes.
Okay.
That's what I would suggest. Because it's not, we literally are not precious about it. Um, and then if you're cool, so I think as soon as it's on the Chrome store with that test on the screen reader done, if you're cool with James just kind of being in touch with you every now and then, or maybe scheduling one, I don't know, you guys know each other very well, so it's more of like what you two feel comfortable doing. Um, and and like after the fact, in working with James, it seems like the best that I have seen him, and we're recording this, so I hope he's watching this, is when he starts to bang his heads on something and then figure it out. um, and so that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, and like we have some time between when paying customers are using it and when it's hopefully on the Chrome store, that we'll be able to like have James bang his head enough to figure out how to support it when customers start to use it. This is also not something we're charging for at all, so it's not like anything that we like have to support, like something somebody's paying for.
Yeah, and I mean, you're really just using it so that you can get more accessibility, like errors logged more quickly. Like it's a better way to get the information into your system.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Exactly. Um, the other person who might have some questions is Chris, who's doing all of our API stuff, but he's also a whiz and probably can just read through it. I've been reading through your documentation. It seems pretty documented, so I don't, I haven't, the test is always to like spin it up myself, which we'll see if I have time to do it, but I kind of am leaning on James and Chris and everybody else to do that. But it seems documented to me. Like I don't see anything that is a
Yeah.
glaring obvious.
The biggest thing, Chris, would just be to understand how the API is going to be spec'd, because if he can provide a TypeScript API file, then it's really easy to just share that between the repos and they work.
Yeah. I think he can. I'm gonna put it. I'm typing these notes to the tag. Provide a type TS. So like just like a TS API file would be the best. Okay. Or how else should we start thinking about integrating? Okay, cool. So when do you think you can get the Chrome extension up and then at least starting to talk with Kevin on this?
If you can get me the login for the Equalify Chrome extension store, I should be able to publish that like within the next 5 days.
Okay,
I would say within the next 2 days. Like
cool.
I don't think it will take long.
Cool. I'm gonna get it to you as soon as I'm done with my next meeting. Um, okay, and then as far as like payment stuff, I'm just the worst project manager in the world. So tell me what I need to pay you and how I need to pay you, and then I'll pay you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I need to go back and check and see what we had talked about before, and I will message you when I figure out where we were at and what's the
Okay,
current
cool.
status.
Yeah, I'll send you what I have too. I think I did make some notes somewhere too that we're talking about, but I don't even know because this is just not my strongest suit. And I don't know why we haven't hired a project manager yet, but that's probably just something that's going to have to happen.
Soon term.
Hopefully not when we don't have any money in the bank account. Uh,
Yeah, hopefully.
okay, I'll send you, and then I'll send you what I have. Blake will send what he, his PM notes, and Cole will send second payment info. Yeah, because I sent you two payments in a strange way at some point. I just have to look and I vaguely remember that.
Yeah.
But okay. All right, Cole. Well, very cool.